PR is your means to take your vision of your brand to a widespread audience. So it's a huge tool, and it's a very important part of your communications and your marketing mix. It all goes together, I think, marketing, communications, and PR. While your marketing strategy and your communications will come from you, PR is where, if you do it effectively, that's where the spread comes from. That's where the fire spreads. Um, because your communications will only take you to who you can target. But PR is where that really wide base comes in. So we do a lot of PR here at the museum. And it's been wonderful, the kind of reception that we've got, the kind of coverage that we've got. So PR is extremely important in the whole landscape of marketing and communications. I'm Shaina Jagtiani, and I currently work at the Museum of Art and Photography here in Bangalore. I head communications and PR here, and it's a very exciting role and a very exciting space to be in, because we've just opened our physical museum in Feb this year. So now we're a public-facing institution that welcomes visitors and audiences on a daily basis. My experience has primarily been in advertising, media, marketing, and branding. I did my MBA many years ago and specialized in marketing, and went on to work in a few ad agencies and media houses of all sizes, and worked on brands ranging from startups to large MNCs, and so it's been a very exciting journey, and given me that exposure and experience to different companies. And I've worked on doing something as small and simple as creating a logo to help them define their marketing strategy. So it's really been varied and exciting. There've been many, but I would definitely say my most favorite one has been the launch of the museum. The Museum of Art and Photography, MAP, as I'll keep referring to it. Obviously, being part of a founding team that opens a museum is quite a rare opportunity. Also, given the way museum spaces are really viewed in our country, and one of our main missions was to really democratize art and make it an inclusive and accessible space for everybody. So opening a space that really lived up to all these promises has been a very, very fulfilling and very, it has been a process, right? Because again, this team we're different professionals that come from different fields, but working in a museum space is something very unique. So this has really been a pet project and a pet experience of mine. The way we strategized over these last few years and understood what we want to drive home to our audiences, what our beliefs and values are, how do we want to communicate our mission, how does that actually translate into programming, how does that translate into footfalls. We're also a hybrid museum, so that means that we have a digital aspect to our museum, wherein we reach people who are beyond the city walls of Bangalore. You could be sitting anywhere across the world, but yet partake in a lot of our exhibitions, events, and everything that's happening at MAP. So we really say that we are hybrid in that nature, and then to understand how do we coexist as a digital space as well as a physical space now. So it's been wonderful working on the launch, I would say, of MAP. See, now today we all use data to some extent or the other, right? And especially here at MAP, where we're so focused on our audiences and visitors, we use data we try to really get meaningful insights from our data. But I would say that my very first interaction with data was in my first job. I was working at an ad agency, and this is many years ago. And we had a proprietary tool that was measured brands on different scales. Something like how approachable is the brand, how warm is the brand, how aspirational is it, and we would go out and do market research for our clients and capture these key points, all this data, and then kind of plot it using this proprietary tool, which then helped so much in strategy to say what your brand stands for, and therefore how do you take that forward into engagement, into sustenance, into getting people to interact with your brand and use your brand. So that was, it was long, long ago, but that was my very first real interaction with data to see how it can help you. Since we're such a young institute, especially here at MAP, we are trying to strengthen our data collection, right? But we also have various different data collection points, and we're trying to integrate that into a systemized manner. But we do, for example, track the number of visitors that walk in every day through ticket sales. We have solid analytics for our website, and we do this on a weekly basis. We track number of visitors, we track which exhibitions, pages, events are most viewed, most interacted with. We also have a grant where we run ads and we track all the metrics of that. So what is the conversion rate? What are the CTR, the CPC, and all those other metrics that come with your tag manager and your Google Analytics. So that's an ongoing process that happens every day. Almost on a daily basis, because I feel the digital, especially when it comes to digital marketing, where data plays such an important role, the landscape is ever changing. I mean, sometimes it's not even on a weekly basis, it's on a daily basis, something new has been introduced. And you really have to keep up and keep track of what all these innovations and changes are. So we do work with some experts as well to get best practices and insight, but we track all our touch points, or we try to track all our touch points with our audiences and visitors. So whether it's social media, whether it's YouTube, whether it is our website, whether it's people physically walking into the museum space, all aspects. We, of course, there's always scope to improve, but we are capturing a lot of this data and information. I like Google Analytics for sure, right? And I think it has so much potential to really cut and slice in different ways to give you what you're looking for. And it's so comprehensive, and it's so, it's got, these little nooks and corners which you go into and you learn something new. So that's definitely for us is very important, because our website is tied in. So suppose you have to register for an event, you come to our website to register. Suppose you want to buy a ticket, you come here to buy that ticket. So therefore, for us to track our website is so important, on an ongoing basis. So okay. I do like that. Sometimes I just wish for more transparency. Now that's again not data related, but also how do you expand the scope, or rather customize the scope of, say, analytics exactly to your needs, rather than working around a system that's anyway available. Maybe the option to put in your own parameters. I think like any new technology, when it first comes in, it's always, sometimes viewed with some skepticism, and how do you adopt it? And will it replace me, and will it replace my things I do? So, we've been talking about this a lot also. And given that since we are a museum, I feel we have to be careful about the information we put out and how it's written, because we are custodians of all this art and all these artworks, and the knowledge lies with us, right, which has to be translated and communicated in a in the right manner. However, for maybe simpler tasks, we have been evaluating maybe using ChatGPT to a very small extent. But this again, comes the disclaimer that it's it's just the beginning and we're still evaluating because it's an art where the space that we work in is art itself. Um, and that really can't be replaced by AI. So it's the same thing with design, though it's taking the world by storm. But since we're so close to that space and we work in that space, we're a little careful, I would say. I think communications is going to be big, um, and uh, it's going to be a big tool to be used. Again, depends on the industry that's using it and the purpose it's been used for. But I do see that it's going to be it's going to take us all. I mean, everyone will use it at some point, especially for content. Because, yeah, I think how I look at AI is content, images, and video. So while content is the one that we are using the most right now, but again, there is a lot of talk for images, and video will be very soon again as widespread, right? But content will be the first that will be adopted, so to say, in a large manner. PR is your means to take your vision of your brand to a widespread audience. So it's a huge tool and it's a very important part of your communications and your marketing mix. It all goes together, I think, marketing, communications, and PR. While your marketing strategy and your communications will come from you, PR is where, if you do it effectively, that's where the spread comes from. That's where the fire spreads. Um, because your communications will only take you to who you can target. But PR is where that really wide base comes in. So we do a lot of PR here at the museum. It's been wonderful, the kind of reception that we've got, the kind of coverage that we've got. So PR is extremely important in the whole landscape of marketing and communications. I would say keep yourself updated with the latest trends for sure. So do a lot of reading, watch videos, attend workshops and seminars as much as you can because the whole space is so dynamic and it's changing so much. So how you network and stay up to date on just that is very important. I think that would be my key message is staying updated. And I think it's a lot of hard work. So be prepared for the hard work.